freaked out for no reason. The bot took me off of the call. I was basically waiting in the call. Anyway, hold on, let me start over. So I reached out to a few voice actors, obviously not all of them got back to me clearly, because I'm just a student and they're like, but some did get back to me, people from Closing Credits, which is really awesome, and someone else completely unaffiliated and in Alaska, which was really nice. And so I spoke to a voice actor. His name is Burger. Super sweet, super nice. He was like the best. Unfortunately, I couldn't utilize his interview because I didn't conduct the interview within the time window that my professor set. So he was like, you need to do your interviews between February 17th and the 24th, or 16th and the 24th. And so my interview with Burger was way before that. It was about 2 weeks ago. So my professor said it doesn't count, which is annoying. But at the very least, I got to speak with a voice actor. It was awesome, first of all. Like, honestly, that job seems so cool for anyone who's like really into it and, got a little lucky, landed roles. And, well, I don't want to say lucky, but, anyone who's like actually doing well with the job, it seems like an awesome job. And so shout out to Burger. Not that he would ever see this, but that man's just truly great. I appreciate our conversation because he was just being real. And he also connected me with the person that I'm supposed to speak with today. Their name is I'm not going to say their name because I didn't meet them yet, so I don't know if they would be cool. But W for short. So W is a no-show right now, but that's totally fine because I didn't send a remind text until an hour ago, which is my bad because I should have followed through last night and reconfirmed if they're gonna make it to the voice call. And then last week, or actually a few days ago, I spoke with a guy named Joe who's also a voice actor, and he was really cool. My interview with him, oh my god, it was a little bit embarrassing because it's very evident to me that he gets interviewed a lot, or at the very least he's very used to speaking and talking with people and answering questions, right? So for my opening question and my clearinghouse question, he recognized that they were both softballs, and I was like, so that to me told me that I should have been creative with my intro. Like, my intro was, all right, before you get started, like, what inspires you? That's so bad. I feel like everyone gets asked that. And then the last one was, what advice would you give? Like, that's the most generic freaking question. And he acknowledged that. He was like, oh yeah, I get asked this all the time. And I was like, well, damn, I'm sorry. Damn. But anyway, he did say my questions were good though, and I appreciated his time to say yes, and then next Thursday I'm gonna speak with someone named Gwyneth. She seems really cool. I don't know much about her, like, apart from the fact that she's a voice actress part-time, so that's awesome. Anyway, let's talk about other things. I said I was gonna do a video entry for about my semester. So last semester, I didn't do one for Spain. So 2 semesters ago, I basically said everything that I'm doing, and with the hopes that I would accomplish everything that I'm doing after. So you look at my calendar. Your girl is taking 19 units, significantly less than what I've taken in the past, but still basically the same. It's just that 3 classes are not being counted for as accredited. So if you shall know, it is my last semester at USD. Hopefully I graduate. And here are the classes I'm taking. So I'm taking 6 communication classes and 1 Spanish, and then 3 music. So my comm classes are interview negotiation, which is what I was talking about, interpersonal communication, family communication, health communication, an advanced integration course, contemporary print journalism. That's 6, yeah. And then my Spanish course is social and divine justice in medieval literature from Spain. Kind of crazy. And then the music stuff I'm doing in school is jazz band, concert choir, choral scholars. It's going well, honestly. I'm not gonna lie, I do feel overwhelmed. But when am I not overwhelmed? Like, I always do that to myself. The bad thing is, though, so with the Executive Bible Institute, I haven't been doing anything. That's basically like an outside course that I've been doing. Y'all know I always do an outside course. Last time it was voice acting. This time it's EBI, and I haven't done a single work for it. And so I got an email from the professor today. He's like, basically like, where have you been for 4 weeks? And I'm like, I didn't respond yet because I'm kind of going crazy. Anyway, so I had a performance on Friday. Sorry, I'm like trying to cover all the bullet points. It was very good. I sang a gospel song. I sang Soul's Anthem by Tori Kelly, and I'm gonna sing it again next Friday. And it was honestly really good. I'm overcritical of myself, so I don't really post the videos, but I'm gonna leave it on the YouTube spam channel for sure. I actually haven't updated that. I still didn't put none of my, well, I did the first part of Spain, right? I didn't do any of the ones from like Italy, Belgium, Germany, London, and then nothing after that. So I still have to catch up on the logs because my photo gallery thing is full of videos. My phone is gonna break. Look at this. Oh wait, hold on, I'm gonna show you. See this? See that? I got no storage, fam. None. Zero. But it is what it is. So I have to so I have to do that. Okay, so I've spoken about all my classes. I've spoken about my current interviewing project, which in the grand scheme of things is probably a very small piece of my life, but right now it feels very big, so I'm talking about it. What else? I never spoke about my time in Spain, but as you know, I was abroad in Spain, and it was awesome. It was great. I loved everyone that I met. I felt that I was super blessed to have gone there, and maybe one day I should do an extensive video entry on this, preferably soon, before I get old lady memory and forget everything I've ever done while I was in Spain. But I did make a video entry though about my hair being Botoxed and straightened chemically a few months ago. And if you saw that video, which I did not make public, so no one saw it, just me, but in the case that I ever do, I probably will. I'm just too embarrassed to make it public right now. I was so mad, bro. That was my weakest point. That was my weakest point. But we laughing about it now. Want to know why? Because my hair got way healthier. As you can see, it's curling again, and that's because my mom called me and she said, "Don't worry, it's Botox. It's not keratin. It'll be, yes, it chemically straightens your hair, but it doesn't make it officially straightened permanently." So the good news is that while my hair is not as what it used to be, it's actually still healthy. I'll give you that. It is curling more. And I just discovered something called a bond treatment by Olaplex. Still haven't tried that, but if my research has served me well, that should be the thing that takes me to the finish line, But I'm not going to do it right away because it's been about 4 months since I've done the Botox treatment. So I want to give it at least 1 more month for it to get fully washed out, because it has been getting fully washed out. I noticed my hair gets curlier. Some parts of it is still Botoxy, but the first week when I made that video about the treatment, my hair was really straight. I was brushing through it and there was no type of curl pattern. Now there's a lot of curl pattern, so it's back to normal basically. I would say 75% back to normal, which is okay. Better than zero. Extremely grateful to God for that one, because I was praying hard on that. And I've been doing more hairstyles. So the last video I did these flat twist design. This time I did the four braids and just a normal twist out. Oh, actually, you can't see it, but I have pink wax dye in my hair, so it's gonna give it a bit of an oomph, And yeah, there's that. Ooh, update. I got an iPad. Finally, this was the product of another blessing God has given me, and that was that when I was in high school, I had applied for a scholarship. I got the scholarship, never used it, right? Because every time I tried, they would tell me, oh, the money isn't valid for this, the money isn't valid for that. I'm like, dang, can y'all just let me use my money? So, because I kept getting rejected on how to use my scholarship, I never used it until 4 years later. I thought they had taken that away from me, but I got a call from my school from shout out to A, you know who you are, and A called me and let me know that I still have a scholarship to claim, So after doing some brainstorming on how I can use it, I finally came to the conclusion that I can use it on technology that supports my education, which is exactly what I did, and it's doing exactly that. Like, not to say the iPad has made my schooling life easier 1,000%, but it definitely made it easier than what it was before. And hopefully now I can get into digital drawing and some design and stuff like that. My nails. And design and stuff like that. So that would be really cool and awesome. Huge blessing from God. I also used that scholarship to get a computer for my brother, because I felt like my brother was really deserving of it. He used to have a lot of behavioral problems in school, and he's getting better at that. But he still doesn't like to study. Well, didn't like to study, didn't like to do school. School is just not his thing, and it's not for everyone. That's okay. But I did get him a computer so that he could get motivated to study more. And I give him a whole speech with it too. I was like, listen, you don't have to give your 100% every day, but if your 100% is your 20% that day, you know how it goes. Y'all know if all you can give is 20%, but that's your 100% for the day, then you gave it your all, and I'm proud of you. But if you can give 60%, for example, but you only give 10%, then maybe you should have tried a bit harder. Not to say that you always have to give the 100, right? But give the best that you can that day. And that's what I told him. And then I gave him the gift. And ever since then, he has behaved even better. And he's actually been motivated to study, which is awesome, because that's what I feel like being an older sister is all about. Encouraging your little brother to do better whenever he can. So that's awesome. Isaac's really cool. He's growing up, getting chill. Love that for us. And anything else I should talk about? This is getting pretty long. This is the UTAs. This is the dorms. Oh, actually, this is cool actually, because I'm living in this residential space on campus, and they're gonna knock it down this July. So by the time anyone sees this video, if anyone sees it at all, this place right here would not exist. This background is just not going to exist. It's going to be a figment of everyone's memory at that point. This is the other side. Everyone has a balcony, and we're not supposed to be on here, but I don't care. YOLO. Y'all gonna destroy this place. It doesn't matter. But yes, they say we're not supposed to stand on this roof balcony, because apparently they can the ceiling can collapse. I think they're lying, but that's their say on it. Okay. Anything else I should talk about? I put my mom on to Marvel during break. I made her watch 6 Marvel movies in the MCU order, which was great. The chronological order. So And that was awesome. My mom has changed. Before, she would have been like, why are you watching that fake fiction stuff? None of it is real. Why are you wasting time with that garbage? And now she's over here like, oh wow, Captain America. Like, yes, I been knew Chris Evans was cute. Anyway, moving on. Like, I'm crying. Why am I getting emails from my class? I have so much homework, it's not even funny. That's one thing. I've become a huge procrastinator, but I think that me being a procrastinator is actually a product of just me overworking myself. So as you know, when I was a student at Bergen Community College, for example, during COVID time, and before and pre-COVID and during COVID and a little bit after COVID, I was that student that finished every single research paper a week in advance, got it reviewed by 4 people, got A+ on everything, was extremely organized, and just on point with everything, time management, organizational skills, everything. Now that I'm in my last semester at San Diego, I can assess how I've changed. And how I've changed is that, yes, I'm still organized. I still put things in my calendar. I still got it going on. I still got everything, like, planned out. But it takes me longer to get things done. And that's simply because I don't want to do it, or I'm physically tired, or I'm emotionally unavailable. And I think that comes from the fact that I've been taking between 6 and 9 classes each semester. So I'm overworking myself more than the average student so that I can graduate within 2 years, because I just feel like I should, I just feel like I should. I don't want to be extending my time as an undergraduate. I want to get on with life, And some would say that I'm probably rushing to do that, which is probably true. Probably. But for other reasons, I know that I need to just get on with school, finish this chapter of my life, and move on. So I've been speed running school, and I think that has taken a toll on how I respond to tasks. So now I organize everything. I'm aware of what I have to do, but because I know I have so much on my plate and only so much time, I just completely ignore my responsibilities and don't do what I need to do until just before time, which is really annoying, because I would rather get things done early, like how I used to be. And I think I can return back to that kind of person, but in order for me to return back to that kind of person, I need to just take a break, be done with school. That's part of the reasons why I'm not doing grad school right away. That, and also I don't know what the hell I want to do extensive research on, so that's just gonna have to but yeah, so that's me. I definitely have changed. I wouldn't say for the worse, because I'm still an excellent student. I'm still an A kind of student. I'm just not as what's the word for it? I'm not as amped up for it, I guess. Like, I cannot wait to graduate and just be done with school forever. Not forever, because there's still stuff I want to learn. So as you know, I still want to be a polyglot. Don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me, please. So I told my friend that I wanted to be a polyglot when I was in Spain, and she was like, it's really hard to be a polyglot after your 20s. And I was just like, bro, what is she like? Okay, and that doesn't change the fact that I still want to be one. I want to speak a whole bunch of languages. Isn't that cool, amazing, and fun? So I was kind of annoyed that someone told me that. I don't care if they were being scientifically accurate. I still want to be one. The issue is that there's no place in this freaking earth that I know of that teaches you multiple languages in one space for a good amount of, for affordable price. For example, if there was a university, let's say, a university that could teach you 5 languages. And you know how like in school you go to like different classes, you go to math, science, bio, chem, English, history. If there was a school where there was that kind of setup, but each class is a language and you attend these classes every day like normal school style, except you're training to be a polyglot, I would do it 1000%. And I expressed this idea to like 4 of my friends, and all of them said, I think my brain would fry if I had to learn 4 different languages in one day. And I was like, okay, well, that's your brain. I think I'm fully capable of something like this. Because when I go on YouTube and I look up like, oh, how to learn this language for beginners, like any language, it seems easy to me, like in the sense where I feel very capable. The issue is just that I haven't taken the time to learn anything. So everything that I'm thinking is very theoretical, like, oh yeah, I could learn this, I could do that. But I think it's true. I think there's a hidden gift within me that has to do with languages that I know exists. I just haven't brought it out, I feel like it's the same way back when I was not a belter, and for some reason when I sang, because I used to only sing falsetto, remember those days, never going back. I only sang falsetto, but I knew there was more that I could do, right? I knew that there was more, for sure. But I just never tried it. So because I never tried it, I didn't start belting until I was forced to. And then when I did it the first time and I actually learned and executed like the first successful belt technique, I was like, I knew I could do this. Even though deep down, part of me also felt like I couldn't. I was very shy about it. But I knew I could. And that's the same thing with learning languages. There are some languages that I hear, and as complex as it is, I'm like, I know if I spent a few years really dedicated to learning and grinding, because I'm also not claiming that I can learn these languages fast. Absolutely not. But I am claiming that I could learn if I had the resources available. So that's just one thing that I noticed. That I know I can do it. So whenever I graduate school, right, I get a job and I have some sort of like stabilization with life, I'm gonna learn again. I'm gonna learn some languages. Where should I start? My favorite languages that I would like to learn, here, I'm gonna write them down first. I'm gonna write them down in order. Okay. Anything else? Okay. Alright. So, the languages that I would learn, that I would try to excel. The first one is very obvious if you know me, because you know me. It has to be Korean, because I've already started it years ago. I can already read Hangul. I already have some sort of basic understanding of the language. The issue is that I never took it seriously after a few years ago. I just stopped taking it seriously because I had a professor. She told me I had this potential. She was like, you're so good. Oh my goodness, keep going. And then she never taught the second part of the course. So when I didn't have an opportunity to sit with someone, like with a professor, and learn, I just gave up on learning, which really sucks because I felt like I was going somewhere. And even to this day, there are certain things about the Korean language that I understand, and I'm like, bro. So I think if I dedicated time, I could learn this language within like a few years, give or take. Next one would probably be, all right, so hold on. I did that. Next one would probably be Italian. Hear me out. This is new. I was never interested in the Italian language. Also, when I used to sing opera, Italian pissed me off so much because my pronunciation was ass. My pronunciation was bad because everything I said in Italian was with a Caribbean Spanish accent, and the opera singers hated that. But I do feel like when I went to Italy, it was super cool that a lot of things felt very similar to Spanish, and I felt like if I had the proper training and the proper dedication, I could learn this language a bit quicker, you know, just a bit easier, just a tiny bit easier. But I think what would get me about that language is the pronunciation, because my pronunciation in Italian is really bad, like really bad. It's really bad. So that would be like my roadblock. Oh, okay. My roadblock for Korean would be grammar. It would be grammar. Pronunciation for Korean I have down packed. We got that down packed, my boo. We got that down packed for the most part. Italian, it would be pronunciation that gets me thrown under the bus. Next up, probably Japanese. This is simply, honestly, I don't know though if I would dedicate time to learning this, because it is a bit intimidating. But in a world where I could learn it, I would, because I think it's just a beautiful language. Like, you know how people say, oh yeah, like French is the love language. It's gotta be Japanese, bro. Like, that language is fire, bro. You kidding me? You kidding me? No hate to my French people. I just cannot speak. I don't think I would ever learn French because it's so hard, and I can't do it. Okay. Yeah, the pronunciation for French would really kill me. I can't do it. I'm sorry. It is a beautiful language. I just cannot speak it myself. And then, let me see. Hebrew would be one. Hebrew for sure, because I feel like that would help with like Bible study. I feel like also Hebrew is just a beautiful language too. Like the way, like some languages, right? They sound like very like da 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 da. Other languages sound very fluid. You know what I'm saying? You're catching my drift. So Hebrew definitely sounds like it sounds like a bit aggressive, but when you're singing it, it sounds very fluid. And I think part of that perspective comes from the fact that I had to sing a few Hebrew songs when I studied at GCC a few years ago, and every single song that I sang that was in Hebrew slapped. Don't care what nobody says, went hard, like absolutely crazy. So yeah. And then the other language that I would learn is a dead language, and I wouldn't learn it extensively. I think I would just want to learn a little bit more about the history and maybe some like grammar and like certain things, but Latin, because I feel like I could do something with this artistically if I knew. Like if I had the power to understand Latin, right? A dead language and no one speaks, I would just use it to like just translate things in English and Spanish, but then say it in Latin and then speak to myself, and no one else knows what the hell I'm saying except other people who know Latin, a dead language, and would understand. Like, I feel like that's like a secret language at this point because no one knows it, but then it's cool enough where people know when you hear it that it's Latin, because you're like, oh my god, like that's Latin, you know? So it would be cool. Not saying that I would actually learn this one. I think if I were to do any order of what language I would learn, I would have to start with Korean, because that's just like I've already started, you know? Then I would probably do Italian, right? Then I would probably do Japanese, and then I would probably do Hebrew, and I would probably get Latin. I don't know. There's other languages that I would learn, but I also don't want to say them all and then jinx myself. So, like, some of these languages are just incredibly hard, but at the very least I know Spanish, and that is just enough for me, because I love my Spanish and I love my Caribbean accent, and I don't want to change it. I wouldn't change it for anything else in this world. So I'm glad about that. Anyway, I really should get going. It's been 30 minutes, hasn't it? Yep, I have to put this on. Anyway, so my person was a no-show. I sat here for the duration of our talk of what it should have been, and it didn't happen, which means I have to go out of my way to contact this person and meet with them a different time, which is annoying, because I would have rather not. Like, I would have rather gotten that over with now, because this week I have so much going on. Per the usual, when do I not have anything going on? Anyway, so I'm likely not going to do another video entry for a while, because you guys know I only do this every few months. So hopefully the next time I do something like this, I would have graduated. I would have got some sense of like what I'm gonna do with my career, like job. Oh, there's a job I'm looking into, but I don't know if I really like it yet, so I'm gonna figure it out. But hopefully I have some sort of job thing going on. And then what else? I will likely be back in Jersey. Oh, you hear the birds. You hear the birds. They're so pretty. Oh, that's so beautiful. I will likely be back in Jersey. I will likely be working, hopefully. And that's it. I don't really have much going on after graduation. So we'll see. Maybe let me set some goals. More Bible study. Practice digital art. Practice a language. And just be happy. Be happy. Praise God. Thank God for everything. Always and forever. Okay, so now I'm gonna go because I have to do real homework. Because my person never came on. Okay, I have to go. Bye. Until next time. Oh, and also goodbye from the UTAs because this complex is not going to exist anymore. Peace. Is it done?